Welcome back. It is part 2 of the series for the Marvel Rival Dating Series. We are ranking and talking about what our reaction would be if our child brought home an individual from the roster of Marvel Rivals. So, we've already covered sports in part 1. We'll leave a link to that video. Go ahead and give that a good watch while you're at it. But part 2 here, we're going to be discussing is tanks. I'm your host, Void, and once again, joined by my lovely co-host, Elite.
Hello.
Alright. First up for the tank category here, we have Bruce Banner / Hulk. They're one and the same, really. So
I'm Omega. Our pronouns are they, them. Not because we're non-binary, but because we are literally two monkeys.
Really, so Hulk Banner, Bruce Banner.
Well, considering this version of Hulk is not a raging green monster. Well, he's green, but he's not raging. He talks. He's in control. This isn't MCU Hulk or anything, or any other version of the Hulk. Like, this Hulk is in control of what he's doing.
Yeah.
My only concern would be, trying to think. I feel like I could, because Bruce Banner seems like a smart guy.
Yeah,
he is the smart guy on Gamma Radiation.
That is true.
And he's had love interest before. Betty Ross, Black Widow, Black Widow from Ultron for a single movie. I'd say I'm happy for you. It's like, yeah, you congratulate, good job, daughter.
I think this one is. I'm disagreeing with you. I think it is.
Really?
At best, it can grow on me. At worst, does not approve. I think, dude, it's like we gotta be realistic here. She brings home Bruce, right? And I'm like, oh, Bruce is a great guy. He seems good, great, happy for you, right? But then you find out that he has an alter ego that can destroy buildings and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's a bit concerning, That's, I don't know. It's because it's not him necessarily. It is like it's Hulk. Those are two different people. So it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's like, what if Hulk, even though this one is not a mindless monster, right? You still kind of at the back of your mind have that thought of like, well, what if Hulk does do something? What if Hulk just kind of loses it, And because I'm imagining in this verse, prior to the Gamma Belt, there probably was times where Hulk, did go crazy and go bonkers, So, and then of course you still have Monster Hulk, which is, that, but I don't know.
Actually, yeah. After further consideration, I'm gonna be done my rating.
I would personally put this honestly in does not approve. I think to me as a, because you gotta remember,
it does not approve.
Next up, you have Mr. America, Captain America.
As far as I'm
Mr. America
concerned,
himself.
that's America's ass.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Man at a time himself.
Mm-hmm.
The first Avenger. Well, from what we've seen, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy,
He does.
It's like he's an American hero. It's just, if that doesn't scream married to my family, I don't know what doesn't.
I would see. Here's the thing. I don't like. I want to put him in Married My Family because you're right. He's Mr. America himself, But my only concern is I feel like he's low-key a bit of a workaholic, I feel like he's kind of going to be always out because, he's a soldier, He's always going to be out on missions. He just wants a mission after mission. So I think he'd be a great man and all. He's a great guy. But I just don't know how well he could do family life, It's kind of like they did it in the, they're talked about it, at least in the MCU, It's kind of hard for him to get by with that because at the end of the day, he does need a war to fight in, He is a soldier, So I would put him in great happy for you. I think I would be very happy initially, but later on there could be some problems. I'm not saying there would be anything for divorce or breakup or anything, but it would just something to work at. It's not like an instant success story basically. For Marry My Family, I'm thinking that's like instant success stories. Like nothing is ever going to go wrong with that relationship. That's going to be a solid lifetime partnership. You know what I mean?
We've seen. I'd imagine it worked pretty similar to what we have in real life with soldiers getting deployed. It's like they're gone for X amounts of time, but then they eventually do come back. So Captain America's not going to be. Steve ain't going to be freaking on missions 24/7. We'll come back eventually.
That is true. So I don't know. I guess what do you think then? Marrying the family or great happy for you?
I mean, I would want Captain America in my family. family. So yeah, marry my family.
All right, we'll put him in the marry my family. You know, he does have those super soldier genetics as well. He can possibly pass down. Who knows? That's super serum and all that. Let's see. None other than Mr. Eye of Agamotto. You have Doctor Strange.
By the Eye of Agamotto!
Let's see.
Doctor Strange. He's the master of the mystic arts, and he's a accomplished surgeon.
That is also true.
But he can't really do surgery work anymore. Probably still take care of you really good.
He can, any wound you get, I imagine he can just zip, you know, cast some sort of spell, you know?
I'll put him in, I'm happy for you.
I would agree. Once again, I'd only worry if he's a bit of a workaholic. Because, I mean, in the movie, I'm pretty sure he was a bit of a workaholic. You know, he had the kind of the fling with the nurse. What was her name again? Or I think she might have been a surgeon as well. Whatever her name was. I'll edit that post, of course, you know. Let's see. Next up, you have Groot. Where are you putting Groot? All he can say, by the way, is just, I am Groot. Now, technically, if you spend enough time with him, you can eventually understand him, but he is a tree at the end of the day.
He is a tree at the end of the day. I'm gonna put, I'll put it does not approve. I'm just like, you're dating a tree, honey. It's a tree.
That is, I'm gonna agree with that one here. I also feel like, I don't know, Groot kind of seems like a simple-minded individual, you know? I'm pretty sure he's like in the movies he eats a butterfly or something like that at one point, or a leaf growing off him. Point is, he seems a little simple-minded. I just don't think that Groot really needs. I'm thinking from Groot's perspective as well. I don't think he needs a relationship, nor does he really. This doesn't scream Groot to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't get Groot vibes from that. So I'd agree with the replacement there. Next up, the Thing. What are you thinking with this one?
What was it again?
It's the Thing.
Oh, the Thing. I mean,
Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm's a decent guy. Yeah, he's a rock monster, but at the end of the day, it's like he's
a great dude.
Underneath all this rock, there's a heart of gold.
Exactly, you know? He's a great guy.
It's just like, honestly, 2005 Thing was done dirty by his wife, and just like, at the end of the day, that's still Ben. That's the man you fell in love with. Yeah, he's a rock monster, but he's still Ben.
I might have to put this though. It can grow in me category, just because.
It can grow on me, because like the rock monster will seem weird at first.
Exactly.
Once you figure out he's actually a decent dude, he's also a accomplished astronaut, I'm pretty sure.
That is true. He was. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, we'll put him. It can grow on me. I think, like I said, he's a great guy underneath all that rock. But I think the rock would be a little off-putting at first as a parent, you know.
I mean, he found love in the second movie with the blind girl.
Now we'll say you're aging up your daughter here in order to fit the description here. It's Magneto. Your daughter brings home Magneto. I mean, Magneto seems like the type that treats his, like, you know, significant other like a queen, you know.
Realistically, I'm dead at this point, probably. So.
Well, I mean, like I said, we're aging up the character. We'll say here. Just ignore it. There's Marvel magic at play. Okay, you're alive. You're like 145 or whatever. Okay.
If I had to guess, he doesn't entirely hate humanity. He still prefers mutants, of course, but I assume just like he's fine with humanity now. So he seems like a gentleman. You know, he's literally a king of his own country. So I put that in. I'm happy for you.
I'd agree with that. You know, I think if we're talking, depending on which version, it can be kind of lower. You know, for sure. Because if we get into his more genocidal versions, then it's like, oh, I don't know about this guy. You know, but
I was going with the Marvel Rivals version.
Exactly. If we're talking about Marvel Rivals version of all these characters, then yeah, I'm gonna say great, happy for you because, in theory, he's, you know, a great guy, right? You know, like I said, who knows? Comics could correct me if I'm wrong. And in Marvel Rivals, I think he's reformed, so we'll go with that.
He has the X on his chest.
All right.
So I would assume that it means he's reformed. Plus, in the trailer, he's helping Penny Parker, Rocket Raccoon, and Black Panther fight the Doombots.
True. Second to last here, we have Penny Parker.
Penny Parker. Let's see. She's a star student.
Armed and dangerous.
True.
She has a giant robot. I'll put that in I'm happy for you. That seems like a really healthy relationship, if you ask me.
Are we aware of the Venom incident? That's the question. Are we aware of that?
Well, I mean, that was a different mech suit. That wasn't her.
True. But you still would be, as a parent, a bit frightened about that, you know? Like, oh, it's kind of concerning. Your aunt and your best friend just got consumed, you know?
The only reason Aunt May got consumed is because she tried to help. But if you realistically,
you heard it here first, kids. Someone's in danger. Don't help.
Don't help. Don't help. Don't demonetize this. But a freaking the Venom incident, because Penny Parker seems extremely happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure in the comics after that happened, she was severely depressed.
We'll say it's before the Venom event then. We'll say it's before the Mystery
in that case, I'm happy for her.
I'd agree.
That's a great catch.
I'd agree with that. Let's see. Next up we have Thor. It's
Thor. Asgardian himself.
God of Thunder.
This is King Thor.
True. That one, I mean, I think he has, quite literally 1,000 years of wisdom with him. Thousands of years of wisdom.
He also seems like a very great guy.
Yeah, I feel like,
he's very noble.
Exactly. We see how he treats Jane inside of if we're talking about the MCU, how he treats Jane. Seems like they had a great relationship.
Cares about her. But he wanted to make sure that Jane was somewhere safe where Loki couldn't get her in the first movie.
I'd say honestly, this one I think is Marrying My Family. It's because that's like
Marrying My Family.
It's also such a great catch to the point where you're literally marrying a god and a king.
You're literally marrying one of the Asgardian pantheon.
Exactly. That's kind of hard to beat. You know, that's like, oh my. And then it's Thor. Who doesn't love Thor? I mean, he's like thousands of years of wisdom and knowledge. You have all the magic. You have all the resources of Asgard at your disposal. You know, if you get sick, you have every sort of Asgardian mystic monk and magic and healer.
We saw those healing rooms in Thor: The Dark World.
Mm-hmm. So I'm putting that into Marry My Family. I think that's just such a stellar catch right there.
Yeah.
Last up for closing out the tanks is Mr. 19 Inches himself.
I miss out on 19 inches of Venom, you know.
I'm gonna be very concerned. Why did you bring this giant, slimy black alien into my house?
I ain't got something against, an alien. What if he was a red alien, huh? What if he was a green alien?
If he's a red alien, that's even more concerning.
That's true.
Whoa, where you going? That is a red one.
Hey, he's a red alien, then it's over. I wouldn't even get the chance to disown the child at that point. I'm just gonna be dead.
I'd be dead. Just kill me.
So yes, if he's red alien, he's dead. So what are our thoughts on the Venom here?
I mean, do we have? Is he Venom all the time, or does it go back into Eddie Brock? Do we have any?
We're assuming she's dating Venom, not Eddie. She's dating Venom.
And I'm gonna be very concerned.
Me too. Because even if, first of all, he's kind of once again simple-minded.
It is the records room. Surf the web, surf the web.
He's a bit stupid, and then
a lethal protector.
Secondly, he still eats people. he still eats a bad guy's head. I don't want to see that. And I don't want that. That's. And he's also. I mean, come on. He's scary, man. I'm talking about like a 12-foot tall, muscular goo creature, you know, with a sharp mouth and all that, a tongue. You know?
With numerous amounts of sharp teeth.
So, I'm not gonna lie, this is like a hard does not approve, you know. This is like
I do not approve.
Yeah, please, like, oh no, this is bad. This is real bad. You know. Does not approve. We'll say does not approve for that.
Yeah, well, I agree with it.
That being said, though, we have officially done it. Tanks and supports. Part 1 and 2 of the series has been completed, meaning all we have left now is Part 3. Part 3 is going to be DPS. It'll be a bit longer than these 2 videos here. So it's going to cover, you know, a lot more people.
Doesn't help that DPS has more freaking characters than Vanguard and Strategist combined.
Exactly. So, that being said, I love you guys. We'll see you again in Part 3. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.